phenomenological presence is never delivered, but only promised, dangling as it does between the lost origins and the impossible hope of fulfillment, all the while making use of the very instrument which it wants to expel. We are too late for the proto-geometers, too early for realized science. We are unable to constitute ideality alone and unable to constitute it together without passing through the danger of writing. Presence is unable to present itself without the danger of delay and detour. The now cannot maintain itself, but constantly gives way to delay and difference. The absolute has lost its innocence in Derrida, and if we are able to speak of a transcendental, then the transcendental must be that very difference or division of consciousness against itself, in virtue of which nothing is ever firmly, fully present. That division of consciousness from its own arche and telos, which is dependent at every step upon signs. Things make their appearance only in such a divided, different consciousness. And that, says Derrida, is perhaps what has always been said under the concept transcendental. Husserl wants to rescue the arche and the telos by reinstating them as ideas in the Kantian sense, looming goals from which we are divided only by a kind of fall. Derrida, on the other hand, builds these limitations into the very structure of consciousness, treating them as structurally necessary, not as factual accidents which have somehow or another befallen the essence of pure consciousness. Indeed, for Derrida they become principles of creativity. Geometry, art, philosophy, any historical formation makes its way by a creative repetition, by a series of creative misunderstandings, by repetitions which alter. That is the only way to get any motion into the tradition. Were Husserlian reactivation even possible, it would not be desirable, for it would bring the tradition to a halt. The more perfect the reactivation, the more sterile the product. Consciousness is always already differentiated, and that is why Derrida says that this is perhaps what the transcendental has meant all along. Difference is not the external, the accidental, but a kind of a priori which inhabits things from the start. Nothing is or ever was innocent, integral, undivided. The repetition which repeats forward does not make promises it cannot keep. It does not build excuses into the transcendental structure of consciousness in a kind of transcendental apology for not being yet, or for not being any longer, what we say we are in truth. It recognizes that this not is built right in, that it is no merely temporary inconvenience which we hope to remove by the first of the month. It recognizes that we are caught up in the flux, breached by the knot, that the only honest thing to do, indeed the only thing to do at all, honest or not, is press forward. Indeed, it does not even feel bad about all this. It understands full well that it is by means of this repetition which alters that we make any progress at all. That difference is not a humbling reminder of the finitude of one who has infinite task, not a mark of transcendental melancholy, but the only way anything ever gets done.